Right. Yes, sir. We are back. We are back. We are back, baby. Happy Friday to everybody out there underneath the beautiful skies of Mother Earth. My name is Greg. Welcome to the All About Aviation Airplane Show for this here, at least Friday night where I'm at. I don't know what time of day it is where y'all are at, but for me, it's Friday night, and I'm very happy because it's Friday night. Absolutely. Now, I did just put up a new video for Aerofly, the A380. I have done a few of those in the past. This one's a little different with some of the stuff I did in it, as far as highlighting certain buttons and talking through certain things. So, hopefully y'all will enjoy it. And yeah, man, we're gonna do something tonight that I hope works. First, before we get into any of that, please subscribe. Please click the like button. Please follow me. Please drop a comment, share my videos, comment on them, all that good shit. Might not mean a lot to you, but it certainly do mean the world to me. That's for sure. All right, so let me show you what I did here. So I was very upset last night because I couldn't do the flight I wanted to do with the plane I wanted to use. The screens went blank a few times, and then I just gave up and just deleted everything from YouTube, at least. So, this is not what I want to show you. So what I did was, I was like, you know what? I'm on the forums. I know the world scenery can be a problem, but let me try something I haven't done before. So what I did was, actually, I went in and just deleted, or well, actually uninstalled, any third-party livery that I bought that I had in. So like all the ones for the A310 that I had, all the ones for CJ4, all the ones for the ATR, for the 787. I deleted all those. The only liveries that I still have downloaded are the ones that came with the PMDG 737, because those are right from the developer that made the sim. So with that said, I tried a couple of things today, and it seemed to work, even in the black hole. Now, the PC-12 still doesn't work in Europe. I don't know. I don't know why. But for some reason, the PC-12 still does not work with screens on and all that. But the rest of the planes did work. So we're going to try something. I'm going to try doing the flight that I did last night. And I'm going to see now if it works even with the sceneries and shit downloaded. So I'm flying this here Piper MALIBU MERIDIAN. This plane is absolutely amazing. And let's go ahead and choose a livery for tonight. Let's do... what's Aurora look like? About ocean blue. Yeah. Hydro smooth? That's pretty chill looking. Alright, let's do that. Alright, we're going to do hydro smooth. Oh, you know what? I should probably go in and actually generate this flight and send it over. That way I have it in, bear with me for just a few seconds. Man, so much shit is falling today, man. No! Where'd the bat go? There it is. What a train wreck. What a train wreck. He's such a boomer. Look at him. Yeah, I've had the drops today, man. Just stuff just... yeah. I dropped my vape yesterday. That thing fell at exactly the exact wrong place for it to fall, like where it landed. And I wound up having to buy a new one. And the one they had wasn't the one I liked, but it was the only one they had, so I was kind of stuck. So, all right, let me see here. Sim brief. And dispatch. Let me go save flights. And let's see here. Edit. Keep that. Let's change this back to Piper Meridian. All right, very good. And we'll go to 35-3 scheduled. All right, very good. Let me generate this flight. All right, and then let me quickly go into Navigraph and just put the approach in so I know which approach we're doing. And then I'll open up the flight. Well, actually, I can get into it now, actually. Oh, I got to turn the controller back on. All right, let's come. Oh, you know what? Let me make sure. I think I have everything turned on that I want on. Let me see here. Yeah, traffic's on. Photogrammetry is on. And all the ATC stuff should be turned on. Let me just type in ATC. Okay. Well, almost. All right, ATC voices, flight plan, and communications. Okay, very good. Let's save that. And let's go ahead and now let's go to our airport. All right, we're doing Tirana, Albania. We can do ramp number 3. And we got live weather, and we're still going to use last month. Because the AirRack still hasn't been updated, but you know, it kind of is what it is. All right, and let's select approach. Okay, so we got 924. All right, and let's go a flying. Now I'm thinking, very, very hopeful that this is going to work because it worked earlier, and I am just hoping that it works again. All right, let me unload this in Navigraph now, and actually I can close Navigraph because this plane works properly tonight. I got all the charts I need at my fingertips. All right, let's first come over here, check our status. We go to maintenance. All right, engine status is okay. The oil's okay. All right, lights are okay. Wheels are okay. Engine oil's okay. Alternator's okay. Generator's okay. Battery's okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Brake pads are okay, and alright, that's okay. Alright, very good. So let's go to flight plan. Let's import this here flight plan. Alright, very good. And let me actually pull up our... Okay, we got that there. And departure. You know what? Actually, I do need Navigraph just for one moment. Let me star the charts we're using today so I can get back to them pretty quickly. And then I can close up Navigraph here. Alright, so that is 10-3A. So we got this one here. Alright, and for Athens, our arrival is 10-2E. So that's this one here. 10-2E, and then we're doing the ILS for runway 03 right. Okay, 03 left, 03. Okay, let's scroll down a little bit here. And I'm looking at 11-4 and 11-4A. Okay, so let's do this one and this one here. We'll do ILS Z and Y. All right, very good. So we got all that. And the current chart we're going to put up here is our airport chart here. All right, and I don't think our airplane's actually going to show up here because it hasn't before. Usually the airplane will show up on here, but for some reason it doesn't do it at this airport. So we'll just leave it like this here. All right, let's go ahead and... So we can load up a couple of ways. We can... Ooh, estimated takeoff weight. Oh, that's old. We can do this a couple of ways. We can either load in real time, or we can load instant. Now, when you load it in real time, there's a fuel truck that comes over. It takes a while for him to park. It's a real pain in the ass. Then you have like a Range Rover type vehicle that comes over, and you don't see anybody get out. You just see some bags sitting out there, and it says like they're flirting with the pilot and taking pictures, and then they get in. So we'll at least open the door so you can see that, and we'll connect the ground power unit. But I don't think I'm going to do anything with loading it in real time. It takes a long time. It's a good 10 minutes for fueling. Close to that for the people to be brought over. All right, but we are going to use our checklist here. So this one, let's just auto-complete the page. All right, let's see. The door's open now. You can put a red carpet. You can put a red carpet down if you want to for your people. See. But anyways, all right. So let's go ahead and close this cabin door. And let's load instant. All right, and we're still too heavy, so let's get rid of some of the cargo here. Alright, yeah, that works. Alright, let's start our evaluation.
All electrical switches off. Cabin climate controls off. Circuit breakers all pushed. ECS cabin comfort switch off.
Oh shit.
Parking brake set. Bleed air lever. Full OFF closed. Power lever idle.
Sorry for the noise. I gotta get my tablet up.
Cut off. Emmer switch.
I'm gonna need my tablet for this flight. Hang on, let me turn the emergency switch on. I have a whole like 150-page PDF that came with this, and it's got all the checklists in there as well. Plus, it has the table chart to know.
On. Pilot PFD. Verify and check system status. Emmer switch.
It has the table so you know what torque to put the engine at our altitude.
On. Fuel gauges. Check quantity and imbalance. Fire DT/ANN test switch. Press and hold verify engine fire CAS message.
Now, I always go through the checklist on this plane in particular because of the realism that I have turned on. So this plane does take a few minutes to set up, but you know, it kind of is what it is. All right, let's go ahead and continue our evaluation.
Battery voltage 24 to 26 volts. Fuel pump switch. Manual. L&R fuel pump on CAS message. Illuminated. Ignition switch. Manual. Ignition on CAS
and it's
message.
easier to do this, in my opinion, than to just tick on every single item after you do it. So
Start mode switch. Auto, light and switch extinguished. Push start switch. Lift cover. Push. Oil pressure. Check rising. Ing, min 13%. Stabilized. Condition lever. Run. ITT. Max 1000 Celsius limited to 5 seconds. Starter at 56% ing.
almost close.
Verify start engage. Ing.
Come on, baby. You can get over 63.
Stable above 63%. NP. Verify 1200 RPM minimum. Gen switch. On. Check positive amps and 28 volts. Alt switch. On. Fuel pump switch. Auto. Ignition switch. Off. Oil pressure.
Yep.
Check minimum 60 psi.
Alright, let's do our before taxi. I usually stop the automated after the engine run-up. I let him do all the engine run-up stuff while I, him being the GigaChad co-pilot, I let him do all the engine run-up stuff while I finish tweaking the flight plan and all that kind of stuff. Alright, let's do evaluation.
Avionics switch. On. MFD. Autopilot. Pre-flight test. Pitot switch. On check operation. Pitot switch. Off. Taxi/rec LT switch. On. NAB switch. On. Cabin climate controls.
Oh yeah, we gotta set these, otherwise the passengers are gonna get super hot, and they do not like that. Let's put it right there for now.
As required. Radio avionics. Check. Flaps. Retracted. Elevator trim. Set in takeoff range. Rudder trim.
Yep, let's move this 2 to 3.
Set 2 to 3 right trim. Lead air lever.
Alright, let's push this in.
Push in, on. Cabin pressure dump switch. Verify position. ECS cabin comfort switch. Normal. Desti LV, LFE and TMR/REF window.
Yep.
Set. Stall warn test switch.
Stall, 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 stall,
Press to test.
stall, stall.
Altimeter set.
Actually, what is our altimeter?
Airport information, kilo
30.6. So let's set our altimeter to 30.6. Let's go to PFD options, altitude units. Change this to 30.6. Alright, very good. Let's take this.
Set. Parking brake. Release.
Alright, let me get him to complete this page, and we're gonna finish tweaking our flight plan here. So let me actually, I do need Navigraph again, just for one brief moment to set the departure and arrival and all that. What is actually our cruising altitude today? Oh yeah, we can remove the GPU. Let's come here to flight plan. Let's go to our official flight plan report. We are cruising at 25,000 feet today, so let's program that first. That takes a little while to get to on this airplane. There's no button that I can find that will change it by 1,000 feet at a time or speed it up quicker, so just gotta hold this to 25,000 feet. So while we're doing this, our GigaChad co-pilot's gonna do all the stuff he's gotta do on his end to make sure the engine's gonna operate properly. Very good. So let me scroll down here a little bit. And there we go. All right, Elba 2W. And and it's runway 35. So let's go to procedure. Let's go to departure. Elba to W. We'll slow that in. And we are doing XOR to P. Let's go back to procedure. Let's go to arrival. Alright, XOR to P. I think that's right. Yep. XOR to P. Let's hit enter. And I think we're going 3 right. Yep, 3 right. Alright, let's load that in. And last but not least is our approach. And we're doing ILSY 3 right. And EGN, I'm sorry, Kia is our initial airfix. And the minimums are, let's go back to departure there. Let's go to charts. Minimums are 147. Oh no, 150. Okay. Oh, what am I doing? 150. Okay, 150, enter. Alright, we got 25,000 feet in there. Alright, everything looks good. That's what that was for, okay. That was for charts. And we have 4 miles there. Alright, that's good. Alright. Come on, Chad. Finish this up, buddy.
Idle. Reverse lockout switch.
Alright, very good. So that's all done. Let's contact the ATC and get our clearance so we can taxi. IFR clearance.
Tirana ground, YO Mike Alpha, Mike Alpha IFR to Eleftherios Venizelos, ready to copy.
YO Mike Alpha is cleared to Eleftherios Venizelos Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 17 climb and maintain 5,000 feet.
You fuck.
Departure frequency is 122.5 squawk 1461.
YO Mike Alpha, Mike Alpha, cleared to Eleftherios Venizelos Airport as filed. Takeoff runway 17 climb and maintain 5,000 feet. Departure on 122.5 squawk 1.
Why put in?
YO Mike Alpha read that is correct. Contact ground on 136.25 when ready to taxi. Good day.
Why choose the option of enforcing the flight plan if it doesn't fucking do it? So fucking stupid. Alright, let's change our procedure. God, it's so stupid. Why give an option if you can't use it? Alright, we're doing Elba 2R. Okay, and let's change the chart up here. So let's get rid of this one. And this chart is 10.3. Yep. Okay. All right, let's go back to flight plan for now. And looks like we're at 10:18. We'll check the METAR one more time before we take off. Let me get my tablet out so I can get the checklist open, because I like to use the one on the PDF version versus the one that came with the one that's in the airplane from here on out. All right, let's yeah, we're ready to taxi actually. Let's go taxi. And there's a beta mode that we're supposed to be taxiing in, which is why you've been seeing this reverser here. Beta mode is just below idle on the way back to the actual reverser, so that's what they recommend that we use. So we do taxi a bit slower, but that's what's recommended in all the checklists and the handbooks and all that. Periodically, I'll put it like actually forward a little bit just to gain a little bit of speed, and then I'll move it back into you know, beta mode. Because we're supposed to stay below 20 knots, or as close as we can get. Now, I'm sure our passengers are hungry and thirsty already, so we will feed them and give them post-it notes and some macaroons here shortly. Now we should be climbing at 140 knots today until we get up to about 20,000 feet. Then we need to cut that back to 125 knots. I'll tweak that once we stop here. Yeah, Chooser, I changed it, man. I was like, you know, I've had this channel for a long time, and you know, my name doesn't really, like, I don't know. I mean, my name, I guess my name is good, but like, I wanted something that had to do more with what the channel does. So yeah, man, I changed it. How you been, my man? Everything been good? Alright, let's hang a UE. Hang a U-turn and put the parking brake on and finish getting set up. Alright, parking brake is on. Okay, so we have generator switches on, alternator switches on, bleed air is in, fuel pump and ignition needs to be in manual. Okay, taxi lights, landing lights, strobe lights. What's our outside temperature? -2, so let's put on icing equipment. So pitot heat, prop heat, stall heat. Ice protection is on, nav light, flight instruments. What messages do we have? Ignition on, takeoff configuration, and we are in beta. That's okay. Alright, flaps are fine, we don't need flaps. Alright, we are ready to actually start up, so let's go ahead and bring up our chart here. And let's go take off. Let's release the parking brake. And let's start giving us some thrust. Now we do have to be a little careful with this plane. Boy, that was crazy. The throttle just shot all the way up. Boy, this thing, these planes lately, man, they have been just being pushed over to the right so hard, man. Wow. These little planes lately. Big airplanes are okay, but these little airplanes, they just shoot over to the right. Like I know they're always going to pull over to one side, but the way that some of these planes lately have been going is crazy, man. Alright, we are in the air. And then, let's see here. Let's turn the yaw dampener on.
122.5. YO Mike Alpha, Mike Alpha. Goodbye.
And let's go ahead and engage the autopilot.
Mike Alpha is at 1,000 feet, climbing 5,000 feet.
Oh no, we need to change that, but... Alright, let's go ahead and put the fuel pumps on auto.
Center, YO Mike Alpha, Mike Alpha would like to change destination to Eleftherios Venizelos.
YO Mike Alpha is cleared to Eleftherios Venizelos Airport as filed. Squawk 1461.
Our torque, ITT, and propeller is fine.
To Eleftherios Venizelos Airport as filed. Squawk 1461.
Hey Elmer, yeah, sorry man, I changed the name of my channel.
Mike Alpha, read back correct. Radar contact.
Well, I'm glad you found me. Welcome back.
Continue to Pinto turning and following heading 13
This is a plane I bought a couple of weeks ago. It's Piper Meridian, Piper Malibu Meridian. It's a really cool plane. If you search it, it's sometimes called an M. Well, here, let me type it in. Hang on. Let me put the checklist down here. As long as we stay under 13 for the torque, we should be okay. Let me type it in here, and then no, I don't want to remove my branding. Hang on a second here. All right, it's called Piper Malibu Meridian. It's P46T or M500. Alright, so far so good. We got all the scenery uploaded. Let's increase our torque a little bit. So while we're climbing, as long as this stays below 1313, this stays below 770, and this stays below 101, we're okay. Alright, let's check our passengers out now. So I'm sure they are hungry. I forgot to put their seatbelts on. Oh well. Alright, let's get them something to eat and drink. That's probably going to be the first of probably 7 or 8 times I have to do that this flight. I will, bro. Good seeing you, Elmer. I'll see you next time. Now you know where to find me again. Well, if I see you again today, it's great. If not, I will see you next time, my dude. Take care. Alright, let's increase our altitude. Because, you know.
Tirana Center, YO Mike Alpha, Mike Alpha. Request flight level 210.
Me too. I might be. It's Friday night where I'm at, so it's a good chance I'll still be streaming.
Climb and maintain 11,000 feet. Expect flight level 210. YO Mike Alpha, Mike Alpha.
Will do, my guy. I'll talk to you soon. Alright, we'll hit the ATC up again later as we get closer to that altitude. Let's go ahead and turn off the landing lights and these taxi lights. Yeah, so I kind of changed my setup a little bit. Alright, sounds good, my guy. I'll see you soon. Oh yeah, what's our transition altitude actually? Let me see here. I think it's 10,000 feet. Alright, so we got to change this over here. So there's no standard button, so we just got to turn it back down to 2992.
Climb and maintain flight level 210. YO Mike Alpha, Mike Alpha.
Yeah, so I kind of changed my setup a little bit here. So for the longest time, I was using my Xbox headphones. These are my Steel Series Arctis headphones for my PlayStation that I'm using right now. But yeah, for the longest time, I had to go from the Xbox through Twitch and then capture it on OBS and all that. I had a capture card the whole time, but I didn't like using the capture card because I couldn't stream to 2 places at one time. And I do have a few people following me on Twitch, so I didn't want to just like cut them off completely, even though, you know, but anyways, so I started using the capture card, and I forgot I had this little dock for the Xbox controller, So I just plugged the PlayStation headphones into here. That way I can hear the flight. I'm using the microphone on my laptop, which I do want to, change at some point, but it is what it is right now. And then I found a website called Restream.io, and I can actually I synced it to my OBS, and now I can put it to both places at the same time, so it's great. So yeah, I plan on upgrading more stuff as time goes on if I start actually making a little bit of money doing this. I'm not looking to, I was never looking to make money doing this, but in order for me to justify spending money to make this better overall, I can't justify spending the money on it unless I'm making a little bit of money doing it. So if I get to the point where I'm making a little bit of money doing this, I'll certainly upgrade, the microphone and the camera quality and all that kind of stuff. But yeah, I tried doing this flight yesterday, and the screens went off again, and I was kind of at my wit's end because I had all the traffic turned off, photogrammetry, which is like the 3D buildings, live weather turned off. But the only things I didn't really change was the liveries for the A310, the A320, and the Cessna CJ4 and the ATR 72. And I'm thinking to myself, let me at least try. Let's see what happens if I get rid of those liveries. Even though I'm not flying that plane, maybe something in the matrix is causing things to get messed up. So when I woke up this morning, I did what I had to do this morning, and I logged in after I was finished doing what I had to do, and I erased, uninstalled all those liveries and restarted everything. And sure enough, the only plane I still have a problem with is the Coronado PC-12 that I bought. It still doesn't work at Frankfurt Airport or most of Europe. It turns on, just the screens don't work. So yeah, so far so good. Maybe I found a way to have all the scenery downloaded, because I really missed having those bush trips available and all the scenery. I mean, I paid good money for this simulator. I want it to work properly. So, but yeah, I did this flight last night. After I cut the stream off and deleted it all, I went upstairs and tried it with a different plane just to see what, like if I had the same issues. It's a really cool flight, as long as the weather holds up and we can see the ground. I mean, there's some beautiful mountains, and I mean, it's a really cool flight. Yep. So far, everything's okay. Yeah, we're gonna stay at this cruising. Oh, we should be at 140 actually. Let me change that down a little bit. That's right, I forgot to change that again. We're gonna stay at 140 knots until we get to 20,000 feet. And then once we get to 20,000 feet, then we got to switch to 125 knots, and then from there get to our cruising altitude, and then we just have to make sure we're at the right power setting. Let's turn off stall heat and the prop heat, since we're well enough under the icing. We're just about at the end of our standard instrument departure, so let's go ahead and bring up our actual route now. And I'll be back momentarily. Give me about 45 seconds. Where the bad folks go when they die? Shoo. Oh man, that feels better. Whew. Sometimes you just gotta go, you know what I'm saying? Oh, you know what? I probably should have paused this actually, because last night when I was flying this, it fell out of autopilot a couple of times, like the plane just starts drifting. And keeps on drifting. Yeah, the takeoff was really rough tonight. I don't know why it was pulling so hard to the right. I know the rudder is going that way, but that's supposed to offset the propeller pulling us to the left. Like usually these single prop planes. Oh, we need to increase our altitude actually. Hang on, give me a second. Let me request this, and I'll continue.
Tirana Center, YO Mike Alpha, Mike Alpha. Request flight level 250.
YO Mike Alpha, Mike Alpha, climb and maintain flight level 250.
Climb and maintain flight level 250, YO Mike Alpha.
Alright, let's go to 125 knots. Yeah, typically these single propeller planes will pull you to the left as you engage more throttle. Typically they'll pull you to the left. So I can understand why this plane wants you to put the rudder to the right to kind of offset that a bit. But like, when we started rolling down the runway tonight, all I did was just do the normal kind of pushing on the button to increase the throttle. And before I knew it, we were like all the way maxed out and already like zooming off to the right, so we were already kind of starting off badly, but we got up in the air. Let's check on our passengers. Alright, everybody's okay. The temperature I'm going to turn down a little bit because they're going to start complaining here pretty soon. Let's pull out some pillows for them. Yeah, these passengers are really pains in the asses a lot of the time. But yeah, we have we got our nice pillows out for the passengers now. We have our black coffee, our croissant, our 3 macaroons, and our post-it notes. Turn on our light back here. We can pretend to use our headphones and microphone. Alright, we're almost at our cruising altitude. We can actually increase our torque a little bit because we're going to have to move that torque up a bit here pretty soon once we get up to our cruising altitude. Let me get the chart ready for that. There's a whole table. Alright, so cruising, set for power tables in Annex A, monitor engine and fuel, cabin controls, and monitor everything else. Alright, let's go to page, I think it's 136. Yeah, when I get it up, I'll show you the table I'm talking about here. And the section before the tables is a whole section on how to take care of any kind of emergencies you may experience while you're flying the plane, like engine blowing out or hydraulics. So it looks like we're going to be negative 36. So if you look, like here's one of the tables here, and it's a grid. It's just outside temperature up top and altitude on the side, and then you just match up the box, and that's the maximum torque that you're allowed to have for that altitude with that, that altitude and that temperature. Sorry, my brain was skipping for a second. So it looks like at 25,000 feet at, wow, it is really cold outside. Negative 38, we're almost off the chart. Let's say we're going to be somewhere around 1276 to 1285 for maximum power. sync up our altitude. Alright, we're at our altitude. And we are at -40, so according to this chart, 1276 is our maximum, so let's just increase this just a little bit. Like 3 or 4 clicks on the A button. We don't need to go max, but I would like to get within about maybe 30 pound-feet of torque, close to it. Alright, and let's check our VNAV. So no VNAV information yet, that's okay. VNAV profile. I'm gonna say we need to turn that down to like negative. What I did last night and it worked out really well was -1.5. We'll do 1.7. I don't want to enable VNAV yet. Picos, Kia. Alright, they're okay. Let's check let me check our flight plan here. There's Elba. Picos is 25, Yorkie. And then after Zorky, that's when we begin the top of our descent. So we must be pretty far away if it's not even registering right now. Let me look at our arrival chart and see if there's anything on there that there's Zorky, so there's no altitude constraints there that I can see. No altitude constraints there. And this one we just need to be at 3,200 feet by 9 miles out, so we can capture the glide scope. We'll program the course and everything else as we get a little bit closer. There's no reason to do all that now. Alright, let's check our torque setting on our engine. Yeah, we're still good there. Yeah, I don't like that VNAV hasn't shown anything up yet, but I don't want to click enable VNAV because I think that'll like actually turn VNAV on. So we'll wait till we get a little bit closer. Oh, I know why VNAV isn't showing up right now. We never actually programmed in an altitude. try changing the altitude. Seeing what happens. Alright, 24,000 there, now let's change it back to 25,000. Alright, well whatever. We're good for a while anyways. I'm sure it'll work itself out. Usually does. Yeah, because I think if I click enable... Oh, you know what? I don't think clicking enable VNAV actually turns that on, actually. Let me try that. Because that's not direct to, that's this next one here. Yeah, there we go. I do want to change. Yeah, that's fine.
Mike Alpha, Mike Alpha, contact Athens Center on 135.875. Good day.
Going to 135.875 YO Mike Alpha, Mike Alpha. Athens Center, YO Mike Alpha, Mike Alpha, flight level 250.
YO Mike Alpha, Athens Center, radar contact. Continue to Picos.
Yeah, we're good. Okay. Because now it's in blue, which is good. 25,000 is on here, which is fine. When it's in magenta, that's part of the flight plan. And last night we descended at like point... Yeah, there we go. Okay, 0.15. There we go. Now we got 22 minutes. All right, very good. So now it all worked out. Yeah, if you want to start VNAV immediately, this VNAV/D looking thing, that'll put you in VNAV to a direct waypoint. You just click on that and then choose the waypoint, and it'll, you know, start descending immediately. This little D here is the same as this icon right here. That's a direct to button. All right, so we got about 20 some minutes. So we're good. We'll have to check on our passengers here pretty soon. Yeah, these little holes up here on the wing, that's where the hose goes for the fuel. Livery is alright. It looks a lot better in the sunshine than it does in the menu. At least I think so. I think it's pretty cool. Check our passengers. They're starting to get a little hungry and thirsty again. So let's feed them and drink them. Now this map here I like as well. It has this little table here, and you can switch to VFR map, you know, visual flying reference map, or instrument flight reference low or high. See, this has the airway that we're flying on tonight right here, this line. These are the airways here. Different waypoints. VOR station. That's pretty cool. So I mean, you could really use this to plan out your trip if you wanted to. Like, you don't even have to sync it with SimBrief, and well, you do have to sync it in order to get these kind of maps to show. Like you don't have to make a flight plan up first. You can just come right in here, sync up your account, and plan everything out on these maps here. You can't interact with the waypoint, but you could write it down, you know, and then input it into the system. Or go from this screen here and then turn and type it in and then go back to the screen and do all that. Alright, let's go ahead and program in our course for tonight, because I believe this is already programmed for the ILS. I think 111.1. I think the plane does that automatically when we choose the landing. But while we're going in a straight line, let's go ahead and set ourselves up for our landing tonight. Yeah, 111.1. So we need to be on a final approach course of 32. So this is what we're going to do here. Let's sync up heading mode again. Let's click heading. Let's come down here to CDI. Push that in once. Now we're in localizer 1 mode. Let's go ahead and type in 32. Let's click CDI one more time. I like to do both nav 1 and nav 2 for the same thing when it comes to ILS landings. Alright, now we're all set. So let's go ahead and click CDI again. And now we can push nav again. There we go. And when we get a little closer to the top of our descent, we'll go ahead and, you know, turn the altitude down and then click on VNAV. And then all we have to do at that point is just maintain the right throttle, and the plane will descend on its own. Yeah, I wanted to fly into Athens. That was... So when I chose this route, I wanted to fly into Athens. I knew I wanted to go to Athens. Starting point, though, I wasn't sure where. I was looking at, you know, parts of Turkey and Hungary and Romania and Bosnia and other parts of Greece, Italy. And I was like, well, I said I wanted to fly over mountains most of the time. I wasn't gonna, I either wanted to fly over the coast, like the whole way, or over mountains, one of the two. Or a combination. And I had a pretty good route from, I think it was from Romania. And then once I plugged in the departure and the arrival and approach and all that, it just became like another 100 miles. And that was, at that point, I was close to 500 miles, and that's kind of a long time for this plane, for me at least, just sitting here. So I wanted something a little shorter. So I just started clicking on airports on Navigraph and making sure they had a long enough runway, and making sure they had some sort of departure, so I could program it into the computer. And I landed on that airport in Albania and it was pretty easy airport. It's only one runway. Runway's long enough. It's got mountains, and it just gave us a long enough flight to where we can get up to our cruising altitude for a while, but not too long to where we're like, you know, up here forever. We're up here for like, you know, half an hour, 40 minutes, and then we descend. Now, if you want to keep on checking You can always keep on checking the flight plan and the VNAV screen and all that. We're not going to do all that. We're just going to wait until we see top of descent on our map here. And then once we see that, we'll go ahead and start turning our altitude down, and then click on VNAV. And it really doesn't matter what altitude we turn it down to. Like, I'm going to turn it all the way down to 3,200 feet, because that's where our ILS capture point is per the chart. But with the VNAV in this airplane, like a lot of other airplanes, it'll actually stop us at the altitude that's in the flight plan. So if we're supposed to stop at 5,000 feet for a while, this plane will stop at 5,000 feet, even though we have another altitude set. So it's pretty sweet. Yeah, I'm still using a date from December of last year, because none of the planes that I've flown in so far have had their navigation systems updated to the current cycle of charts. They're still on the previous iteration, which is from last month, from like November 27th to November 28th to November 28th to December 27th, I think, is the dates that are in these planes right now. But if you're paying attention to small details in the beginning, and you noticed the chart that I pulled up was a little different than what was on the screen here when I was plugging in the arrival and the destination, departure and all that. It was very similar, but it was off by like 1 or 2 letters. And that's because the info that's in the computer here, it doesn't match what is currently published. We'll turn on the other bearing indicator when we start getting closer. Activate nav 1, that'll show over here, and that'll give us our distance to the ILS. Should be seeing top of descent here pretty soon. Let me just see. I think VNAV is still turned on. Yeah, it's still turned on. I was thinking about speeding it up a little bit, but we're so close. It's only going to shave a few minutes, so might as well just stay at regular cruising speed. Let's check on our passengers. Alright, everybody's doing okay. The temperature is stable. top of descent should show on this chart here as well. That's not us. We should still be called your mama.
Climb and maintain 17,000 feet. Generic Romeo, November, Romeo.
I get a little nervous when I see that the wings starting to dip. I always think the autopilot's getting ready to shut off. Especially with this little plane with how windy it is up here. You know, we have a 20 knot tailwind. So that could be part of the reason why we're making pretty good timing tonight, because we got a lot of wind being blown up our butt right now, you know what I'm saying? Not too much farther. We got a ways to go, but it's not too bad. On Game Pass, they just came out with We Happy Few. I've seen the game a little bit here and there, but never really gave it a long look. And I started playing it this morning before everybody got up. Played it for like a half an hour. That game's kind of interesting so far. It's I don't know. I think I'm going to stick with it for a little bit just to see how it goes. But it's pretty interesting so far. I don't know how much of an open world it is, but yeah, I'm going to stick with it for a little bit. At least for a couple hours to see how it goes. But it's been pretty fun so far. I like the setting. It's like in a retro futuristic, like 1960s England, like London. It's interesting. And like the story behind what I've seen so far is pretty. I like it. Yeah, I think I did. I like it. I think so. Alright, this top of descent should be showing up here pretty soon. I don't usually like to move these screens farther than 5 nautical miles because I've run into issues in the past with some of these Garmin screens when you jack it up higher than 5 miles. I've run into issues with the screens going black, so I try to leave them at 5 at the longest. I also try to have all the detail turned off as well, even though nothing shows up on the map now here. You know, kind of what I've read. It's kind of like the best thing to do for these screens when you're running into issues with them. Alright, there's our top of descent actually, right after Zorky. So, which is actually what our flight plan said actually. But if we're still 97 miles away, how are we only 10 minutes away from top of descent then? Right? Something doesn't make sense. So, let's see if we get a top of descent marker here pretty soon. Being that we're only 4 minutes away. I trust this one here a little bit more than I trust this one here. But I don't think it's going to take us 4 minutes to go, 94 miles plus. 94 miles plus whatever, the additional distances after we pass the next waypoint. Well, this is how the weather was yesterday in this part of the world, man. It was really cloudy and stormy, and now, I don't think this plane has live weather built into it, like radar maps and stuff like that. It has an XRAD option under map option here, but I've never, I have it on, but I've never seen anything ever populate on any of the screens. Nope, there's our top of descent. Alright, so let's start plugging in just a lower altitude to start off with. Actually, let's just put this down to 3,200 feet. We have enough time to do that. Typically, I don't go all the way down to our bottom altitude first, but in this case, it's okay. It's okay because we have a very good VNAV system in this plane. We're not descending at a very steep angle. We're only going down 1.5. All right, let's program in 3,200. And let's push the VNAV button. And now you can see it says VPath. Once VNAV activates, you'll see it'll probably say 5,000 in like this magenta color here. It should say 5,000 over here on the side, because that's what's programmed in the flight plan. But yeah, once we start to descend, then we need to monitor everything, of course, but throttle is the biggest thing we need to monitor. Right, let's go back up to our checklist. And descent, windshield heat, ice protection, power level, altimeters, destination elevation, and climate controls. Right. Yeah, there's not really many switches we need to start flipping until we get close to approach. Then we need to flip the ignition switch again and the fuel pump switch. It's pretty much it for switches, actually. Just those two. Look at that big old fuel bomb right there, big old hydrogen bomb. Alright, we are almost ready to descend. Let's pull our throttle back just a little bit. Alright, now we can start pulling it back a little bit more. So I believe like 500 or 600 is our descent. Like, that's how many vertical feet per minute we're going to be going down, is like 500 or 600. Oh, I'm about ready to turn the ATC off.
Climb and maintain flight level 250 YO Mike Alpha, Mike Alpha. Athens Center YO Mike Alpha, Mike Alpha requests destination change to Eleftherios Venizelos.
YO Mike Alpha, Mike Alpha is cleared to Eleftherios Venizelos Airport as filed. Squawk 1461.
YO Mike Alpha, Mike Alpha cleared to Eleftherios Venizelos Airport as filed. Squawk 1461.
YO Mike Alpha, Mike Alpha, read that correct. Radar contact, flight level 245. Continue to Elba turning and following heading tree 10 descent and maintain 13,000 feet.
Continue to Elba turning and following heading tree 10 descent and maintain 13,000 feet YO Mike Alpha, Mike Alpha.
If it wasn't for needing the ATC turned on so I could get like the live barometric pressure and all that, like, I wouldn't mess with them at all. That and I also like using them to when I land, because, you know, without them we can't get our buddy with the glow sticks to show up. Because we do need to, like, I can't just stop this one like I usually do on the runway. This one I do need to turn off properly because of the realistic, you know, quote unquote realistic options that I turned on. So this one does need to be pretty much turned off like you would normally turn, you know, I have to follow the checklist pretty much. So, which is okay. It's a pretty easy plane to shut down. It's just pretty much just unclicking every switch and unturning every knob and reversing every lever that we've interacted with pretty much. It just takes a few minutes to do. Now in this plane I usually try to stick around 100, around 170 knots at the most. You know, in our indicator here, I try to stay around this area for our descent. Yep, before you know it, we'll be on ground. Oh, you know what? Alright, man, fuck y'all. Hang on a second, guys. I'm done with the ATC tonight. They're just crazy. Okay. Alright, that's off. We just won't worry about having a guy with the glow sticks tonight. I mean expedite. I'm in a single propeller plane. That's our flight plan. And it says enforced flight plan. That's pretty straightforward to me. Oh, Kobe. Oh, I guess I should start all over again, right? let me quit. I'll start all over again. That's all good, bro. What's going on? I changed the name of the channel, by the way. I guess you noticed that, but yeah, man, we just begin our descent. Our descent to Athens, Greece. Yeah, I got this one I did, and then I just uploaded an Aerofly video earlier today that I think it went live like an hour or something ago. But yeah, man, I haven't seen y'all in a minute. You've been doing pretty good. All right, Alright, so we got the ATC. Well, thank you, Kobe. I appreciate it. Thank you very much. I try to make it somewhat, you know, tolerable, I guess. You know, I've seen a lot of these videos, and I don't know. Yeah, I hear what you're saying. I don't really know what I'm trying to say right now. But I certainly appreciate it. Thank you. I guess what I'm trying to say is, like, I don't know. There's always something about a lot of the other videos I've watched that kind of bothered me. Like, just something I didn't like. I don't know if it was the music they were playing or the way they talked, or, you know. But yeah, man, no problem. I am not going anywhere for a little bit here. All right, I would like to change. Yeah, I can't really change our. I want to change the weather. Well, you know what? I guess I could just change it. I can just put this back. That's what I'll do. We'll just change this back to hectopascals. Alright, and let's put this on nav1 and turn on our distance measuring equipment. Yeah, so now we got hectopascals, and now that matches what this info says here. I think this is pretty cool how it's got, like, you know, all the info about, like, the runways and approach procedures, and it's all, like, you know, I don't know how. Well, I guess it is up to date. It is today's date, you know, and times there. And I like it has all the different runways you can choose from. It's got our transition altitude, the landing elevation. Like, there's a lot of good shit on this airplane. Oh, I bet you our people are hungry again. Yep. I'll have them buckle up again here pretty soon. Alright, everything is still okay. And once we get to this waypoint here, we'll switch over. We'll switch the chart over, and then we'll use our landing, you know, our arrival chart. We need to slow down a little bit. All right, what's our outside temperature? It's negative 27, so. Son of a bitch. Yeah, the video I put up on the Aerofly video I put up today, I did a really shitty British accent in the beginning since I was flying a British Airways A380 from London to Miami. So I always thought my British accent was much better than it was, but after listening to my voice while I was editing the video, I decided that my British accent is not as good as I thought it was. It is not good at all. I still did it, but kind of cut it short. I kind of cut it short once I realized, like, how bad it was. Sweet. Welcome back. I'm back too. I didn't go anywhere, but I'm back myself. So this descent's going to take a little while since we're only going down at like 600 feet per minute, but it's all good. We have plenty of coffee and plenty of sticky notes for our passengers to play with. I'll show you what I'm talking about in a second. Hang on. Just put this away. In this airplane, I'm supposed to feed the passengers and give them a certain amount of coffee, I guess, because it seems like every 20 minutes they're hungry and thirsty. Let me put this away and then I'll show you what I'm talking about. Yeah, inside. So back here, I need to pull the pillows out for them at some point during the flight, and I have to feed them and give them a drink. But it's weird. It's a croissant, it's macaroons, and then some sticky notes. Like it's an odd, to me that's an odd combination of things to have on a plate. Yeah, go ahead, bro. Go ahead and shoot. Yeah, I can do it tomorrow. Any particular place you want me to fly? Yeah, I can do it. You know what? You know what's funny? I came really close to doing a Delta 737 flight tonight, but I wanted to do this one because the simulator crashed during this one last night, so that's why I wanted to do this one. But yeah, man, if you I mean, I can choose where it goes, or if you have an idea of what you'd like to see, for sure. Yeah, I can do that tomorrow. Yeah, man, no problem. I can do it same time as this one. I can start it at 8 o'clock Eastern time again tomorrow, just like this one. Yeah, if you have an idea where you want it to go, it's cool. If not, I'll just pick one and, I'll just pick one and we'll just fly it somewhere. But yeah, I can do that for sure. Absolutely. Yep, I got Delta livery for the 737. Yeah, I came real close. There was a flight from, it was, I forget where it was taken off from, but it was going to Atlanta. I came real close to choosing it tonight, but I wanted to finish this. I started doing this one last night, and then all the screens went blank like 3 times last night. I got frustrated and just turned it off and deleted the stream. And I think I finally figured out what the major problem was. So far everything's okay. All right, we're getting close. I don't think the airplane's going to show up on that map yet. Let's see here. Oh yeah, sure it did. Alright, we'll just leave that there. And then at 9,000 feet we gotta switch over. We gotta switch from standard pressure to regular pressure. Now that's weird that there's that 5,000 didn't show up here. Because that's the altitude that's in our flight plan. See, when it's in blue like this here, so in these planes with the Garmin systems, whenever you have an altitude in blue, that means it's part of the flight plan. Which means it should be over here. in magenta, just like, you know, these over here. So I don't know why that's not showing up. That's a little weird. But we'll just keep an eye. I mean, we're still 50 miles away. If we're going to be at, say, 13,000 feet, 1624, that's, you know what, I think I need to change this to 12,800 right now. Because if I leave that at 3,200, we're going to go below that 12,800 number, and we're going to get to 5,000 feet way early. So let's plug in 12,800 right now. Let's slow down a little bit. Yeah, because if nothing is showing up in like magenta or pink or whatever color it is, then our plane's not going to stop at that altitude. And I'm looking here, we still have 14 miles to get to 12,800 feet. If we get there, that's great. If we don't, we have to be at 5,000 feet by the time we get to this initial air fix. Now that number should show in magenta here once we pass the next waypoint, I would think. So we'll just keep an eye on things and see what happens. But when I flew this overnight, when I was practicing, I descended at the same profile and everything turned out to be okay. Yeah, Delta, that's one of my favorite liveries to look at while I'm flying. I like, there's something about that Delta livery that I always enjoy looking at. I don't know if it's the blue lettering or like the red triangle. I don't know what it is. It's just something about the way Delta has that livery on their planes, man. It's just a clean looking airplane. Alright, so for landing, we need to switch the fuel pumps and the ignition into manual mode. And that's really about it. We just need to put our flaps down at a certain speed. We can put our landing gear down at 168 KIAS, which KIAS is not indicated airspeed, so that's like right here, like this 168, 169. As long as we're below 168 on this number there, then we can put our landing gear down and flaps 10. So see this document I'm looking at, I can put it up here, like it's like a big checklist that came with it. That's just like one page of the 150 pages that came with it. So it's got like all the ins and outs of the airplane, how to operate everything, what to do during emergencies, you know, all the checklists. Alright, here we go. Now we're starting to cook. Here we go. Get ready to cross into our arrival here. Alright, let's go down to 5,000 feet. Actually, let's go down to 3,200 feet on our altitude indicator. Looks like we're just going to get to the right altitude in time for this waypoint here. Well, that's amazing how these systems can like calculate it right down to like dead on accurate. That's crazy. Alright, so this is our arrival that we're just starting to fly now. You can see our DME equipment has now picked up the localizer, so we're about 24 miles away from that now. VNAV's still not showing up, but that's okay. When I say showing up, it's not showing up in altitude here, but that's okay. That doesn't really bother me a whole lot. I just find it a little odd that it's not showing anything, but that's okay. Alright, let's close this up. So what we're going to fly tonight is we're going to stay on this course here. We're going to pick up Kia, and then we're going to turn to the right and kind of make a big kind of loop. A big loop to pick up this course right here. So here, Kia is, I believe, down here somewhere. So we'll come down and like make this big loop. C11-4 for initial approach. Oh, there's another chart. Alright, I can do that. Where's 11-4 at? Oh yeah, here we go. This is what I was just talking about. So here's Kia. And then we're going to make this turn. Come this way and then come up. Now, if you were doing this landing and you were coming in from like southwest to like northeast, then you would have to do this procedure turn here. You know, and I have an easy video where it shows how to figure out what kind of procedure turn you're doing. But what's up, man? You need me? Or are you okay? All right. Yep. So let's go ahead and get that other chart pulled back up again. Huh? Yeah, I'm getting it tomorrow. Well, I mean, you eat a big bowl of cereal every day. If he drinks milk, it goes quick. It doesn't matter if you're still absorbing it every day. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's only so much milk in a jug. But yeah, I'm going to the store tomorrow. I'll get some then. Unless you want to walk to Royal Farms right now. Well, it's also late, Cap. I don't know if you really want to walk up Fort Smallwood Road at 10 o'clock at night. They're open 24 hours a day. Yeah. I don't want you walking this late at night anyways. I mean, you can. You're 18. You can do what you want, but I prefer you not to walk. I prefer you not to walk the streets just to get some milk. I know, I heard you. There's our airport over here. I'm not going to try to pronounce it, but that's it right there. Alright, let's see, we're at... So we got to plug in our METAR information here pretty soon. We're going a little fast. Just slow down a little bit. Alright, that'll be alright. And let's see what our METAR information is. Alright, it's saying 1016. Let me refresh this here. Yeah, still saying 1016. Now this plane is special. I think it's special, but we should be able to, when we get lined up with our runway tonight, we should just be able to click approach. Once the glide scope is showing, and once the localizer, you know, once the localizer is active and all that, we should be able to click approach, and this plane should switch navigation modes automatically, meaning that we're not going to have to switch this CDI button ourselves to go from GPS to localizer mode. It should do all that automatically. I did it automatically. I mean, it did it for me when I practiced this course, you know, before. But yeah, I don't know if, I don't think every plane with these Garmin systems does that, because I don't think I've ever been able to do that in another plane. I think the Vision Jet did it before, if I remember correct. But yeah, so what we'll do is, because usually we'll capture the localizer well before the glide scope. So once we you know, make this turn and we get lined up, the localizer should capture automatically, and then once the glide scope shows up over here, we'll just click approach at that point, because the approach button is not going to work until the glide scope shows up. So once the glide scope shows up, then we can push the approach button. Alright, let's change this to 1016. Just refresh that again. Usually these update like hourly. Yep, and let's check our passengers. Let's get them to put their seatbelts on. Let's get them another round of coffee and snacks and post-it notes. We turn down their air conditioning system just a little bit more because it's starting to get warmer again. Let's make sure everything is still okay. Yep, everything is okay. Alright, let's go back to the charts. Now, typically I would, since VNav is not showing up that altitude here on the side, typically I would go ahead and plug in 5,000. But we're descending slow enough to where we should get to 5,000 feet, like, at the right spot. Wow, we are really bouncing around. Oh, we're in a pocket of bad weather. Hope the autopilot doesn't kick off. Alright, let's put on our landing lights. Are we icing up? Prop heat, stall heat, anti-ice on. Let's put our ice light on. Maybe that'll stabilize us a little bit. Yeah, I wish that this weather map would work. I don't think the detail has anything to do. Well, you know what? Detail might have something to do with it. Let me, I don't think it will, but let's see. Yeah, nah, it has nothing to do with it. These numbers flickering really bad. I had that in a couple of planes last week when the real weather was turned on, like it is right now. But so far it's okay tonight. We're going slow enough to where I think it's okay. I had it happen to me with the A310, and this wind speed number was going from like 25 to 45. It was like flickering, like it's flickering here between like 11, 14, 16, and all that. It was going from 25 to 45. Like, all right, I think I do need to stop at 5,000 feet for a while. Yep. So let's put this at 5,000 feet. And we'll leave all our anti-icing equipment on for a while, since the outside air is -5. We at least got to leave it on until, I would say, like 5 or 7 degrees Celsius. Alright, we should start. We should stop all the flickering around now that we're kind of out of the clouds. Unless there's just that much turbulence. It would be nice if the weather actually worked on here, but kind of is what it is. Like, I don't think they have a weather map here, do they? Let's see here. No, they do have NextRad. Yeah, but I don't think the NextRad is actually tied to anything, though. That's the thing. Yeah. Put all the detail on here and see if kind of going against my better judgment with turning on all the turning on all the detail. But let's, well, welcome back, my dude. Welcome back, Kobe. What's up? Yeah. Yeah, I can't tonight, but I can tomorrow, for sure. Yeah, I can do that. Yeah, I got you tomorrow 100%. I can't tonight, but I can tomorrow for sure. So after, alright, well, we'll see. Let me finish this up, and maybe I can break off a few minutes for you. I do have something to do when I'm done this, but... yeah, it's not showing any weather radar. Alright, map option. Let's turn the detail back down again. And let's put this back to what I'm comfortable with. I will do my best. I usually go by what the passengers say, and if the passengers say it's a great landing, then I know it was good. these passengers here will tell me at the end if it was a good landing or not. But yeah, I will do my best to butter it. I'm kind of forced to do a good landing in this plane because if I don't, it'll blow out the tires. so if I want to keep the tires on the airplane, I need to do a pretty decent landing. But I will do my best. The airplane's not showing up here, but that's okay. It's very windy today, but I will do my best to butter a landing. I do love those soft, buttery landings, that's for sure. Soft and buttery. Alright, let's put that down to 4,000. And VNAV should kick back on again automatically since we're still in VPAT mode. We just got a little while to go until that happens. I have to grab my other headphones before we hook up for Roadblocks, but and I gotta download Roadblocks again. But yeah, I gotta grab my other headphones for that. I don't think, are they down? I think they're still upstairs. I don't have to go far for them, I just have to go upstairs to grab them. Man, it is really windy over here today. Jesus Christ. 27, 25 knots. You look at our airplane, it's cockeyed like that because we're trying to offset all the wind blowing us. So we have to turn into the wind. Since we have so much wind pushing against the airplane, we have to turn into the wind just to try to keep it straight. Now see, that's weird because here it says 10 knots. 110 and 10 knots is what it says for the weather. .350 and 12 knots is what it said. Oh, that was January 12th. Oh yeah, that's at 11 o'clock. Yeah, 20 and 12 knots. Oh, I don't. Oh, you know what? I have to do that on my on a tablet actually. I don't think I can do Project Flight on an Xbox. I don't think. I think I can only do that on a tablet. I'll have to figure that out. Yeah, that might take me a minute to figure out because I don't know if I have an account for Roblox for my tablet. I don't think Project Flight's available on the Xbox. I mean, 2 TVs is good. That's more than I got. I only got 1 TV. I mean, we have 3 in the house, but we each have one. My 2 kids and then myself. Alright, here we go, descending again. Well, I tell you what, if this wind doesn't slow down, I might turn...
Check gear.
Alright, ladies, shut up. I might turn off live weather, actually. Because this wind is way off compared to what it says here. I mean, this is only saying that we should be at 12 knots. There's no wind gusts. Oh, here we go. Gusting to 25 knots. I guess it is correct then. Yep, I guess that is correct. So if the wind is gusting to 25 knots, half of that is 12 and a half. And we can add a total of 10 to our speed. So normally we would land at like 85 knots. So tonight we're probably going to have to land at 95. Now I see it under this section here. This right here. This 15G is gusting to 15 knots, and then like 25 knots right here, gusting to 25 knots. The wind speed is 15, gusting to 25 knots, coming in at 20 degrees. So that could be accurate. Alright, there's our plane. Alright, and let's drop this to 3,200. That's our bottom altitude for tonight. Supposed to descend again. We should be descending again soon, I think. Let me see here. Oops. Okay, alright, so we got a little bit. And once the glide scope shows up, I'm going to click the approach button, and that should flip us from GPS to localizer, it should be okay. Now I do need to once we get lined up, I do need to switch the fuel pump and the ignition pump. Or the fuel pump and the ignition switch, and put our landing gear down. A little far away from that still. Still 10:16. They're getting hungry and thirsty again. Let's give them more coffee and snacks. Alright, we're just about getting ready to line up. So the glide scope should be showing up pretty soon, I would think. We're less than 20 miles away, so that thing should be showing up almost any time now. We might need to get more lined up with the actual course for it, but yeah, I mean, that thing should be showing up here almost any minute. Wow, we have a 22 mile an hour or 22 knot headwind. Jesus Christ. Alright, here we go, making our turn. Okay, just clicked approach mode. So the localizer should capture automatically. Even though we're in a different nav setting right now, it should capture automatically.
Check gear. Check gear.
Okay, lady, relax. Alright, there's our localizer. That just captured automatically. And the glide scope has now shown up too, so let's go ahead and put flaps down. Flaps 10. Let's switch this to auto and this to auto. That's what the checklist. Oh, it says manual. We were in the wrong mode the whole time. All right, so manual mode. And let's see here. That's about it, other than flaps and let's see what our temperature is outside. Yep, still need icing equipment on. Let's slow down a little bit more. Alright, let's put our landing gear down. Kaleidoscope should be capturing any moment now. Alright, there's the Kaleidoscope. We can reduce our thruster a little bit. Let's engage our next set of flaps. And then we need to go under 118 on our speed display here before we put in our last set of flaps. And we're going to try to land this about 10 knots higher than normal because of all the yo, Elmer, welcome back, my dude. See, you made it back. Since it's such a strong headwind tonight and the wind's gusting as much as it is, we're going to add the maximum of 10 knots to our landing. Right now I'm landing in Athens, Greece. I can't pronounce the name of the airport, but that's it right there. But yeah, we flew from the airport in Albania down into Greece, and now we're landing in Athens, Greece. And I'm going to try to butter this landing, one for Kobe, one for the passengers on board, because the passengers on board here, they get very angry when you land very hard. And the tires on this plane will actually blow out if I land it too hard, so I kind of forced to do a good landing in this plane. Alright, we can put our, we're still a little far out for final flaps. Sweet. That's cool. And then we'll park the airplane and shut it down, because this particular airplane, I have like all the realism options turned on, so I'm kind of forced to. I don't think I'm on multiplayer right now. I don't think I turned that back on. No, it still says I'm offline. I had it on yesterday, and then I was starting to get some weird things happening with airplanes again, so I just deactivated some stuff, but multiplayer, turns out that wasn't the issue, so. But no, I guess I forgot to turn that back on for tonight. I never really think about turning it on, you know, most of the time. I guess I should start keeping it on. I'll start doing that tomorrow. I'll start keeping it on. I never really think about turning it back on, to be honest. I kind of forget. But yeah, I'll start keeping it on. We can actually turn off. I'll take manual control over here momentarily. I just want to get a little bit closer. With as windy as it is, I'm trying to let the plane do its own thing for as long as I can. See how much the plane's bouncing around, it's crazy. Alright, I guess I can deactivate the autopilot now. Boy, this wind is something else, man. Jesus Christ. Come on, plane, get down. Good thing this is a small plane. I got plenty of runway to work with. Wow. That wind kept on blowing me up in the air. Yeah, I think the passengers might agree. I think that might have been kind of buttery. Alright, let me pull off here and just park anywhere and shut the plane down. I guess we'll go over there. And we'll see what the passengers had to say. I mean, with the amount of wind that was going on, I don't think I could have done any better than that. I mean, especially with just using my thumb as a, if I had real yokes, it might be a little different, but just using my thumb, it makes things a little more difficult. Alright, let's just park over here. Alright, let's see what the passenger said. They better said that was a good landing. Great landing, yes sir. Alright, let me follow this checklist that I have here. Shut this here plane down, and then I do have to do a couple of things after I'm done this, but let me go ahead and... Alright, after landing, fuel pump auto, ignition off. High dot heat off, ice protection off. Let's see here, strobe light as required, so turn the strobe light off. Alright, flaps are all good to go. Alright, park and brake is set. Let's turn this ECS to off. We need to put the power lever back to idle. Alright, power lever's at idle. Cabin climate controls off. So let's set this in the middle here. Turn that off. Alright, fuel pump switch off. avionics off, generator off, altimeter off. Let ITT stabilize for 2 minutes at idle. Alright, let's give this another few seconds, I guess. Alright, that's close enough, I guess. Let's move this down. Sweet. Let me let the passengers out. Alright, so let's open up the door. Let's put the chocks in. Security cones. Roll out the red carpet for them bitches. Alright, bleed air, we need to shut that off. Alright, exterior light switches. We need to finish turning those off. And turn the battery off. And then what's the last little bit here? Wheel chocks, tie downs, and covers. Alright, and propeller cover and pitot cover. So we are all done. Got the red carpet rolled out for the peoples. Whew, that was rough. Kobe, I need to figure a way to play that because I can't play it on the Xbox. So I need to find out like what my info is and for Roblox and all that. So I am serious. I do have something to do tonight when I'm done here with my kids. So what I'll do is I will, if you can put your Discord. Yeah, I mean I wasn't bullshitting you before when I said I had something to do, but I also need to figure out what my info is for Roblox because it's been so long since I've been on it. I don't know what my info is or how to find me. If you can put your Discord in this chat here, or a way for me to find you on Roblox, put it in there, and when I get up and running, I'll hit you up. It's a good chance it'll be at some point tonight, but I need about 30 minutes to take care of something with my kids, and then I need to figure out what my account information is. Okay. What's your Roblox like? What's your username for Roblox? Yeah, I do have Discord actually. Give me a second. Let me look it up here for you. I think it's Doodoo5220 actually, but let me. As silly as that is, but let me look it up. Discord. I don't really get on Discord too often, but it is a good way to try to connect outside of here. Keeper. Discord. I'm looking it up right now. Let's see here. Discord. Yeah, it is. It should be. Okay. When I get up and running, I'll check it out. There's a good chance I'll be able to get up and running with it tonight. If I can't for some reason, I can definitely do it tomorrow. But I'll do my best to get on in a little bit, okay? But here's my. And actually, let me write that down. Let me write your stuff down because a lot of times when this stream ends, it takes sometimes it takes like a day for me to find the info from the chat. Sometimes the chat doesn't show for like a day. So let me write that down. SRTKJ. And IANGH122. Okay. All right, I got that stuff written down. Yeah, let me take care of what I got to take care of. I'll try to get on tonight, but if not, I can definitely do it tomorrow for a little bit for sure. But anyways, let me get doing what I got to do. I gotta take care of something. But thanks for tuning in tonight. I appreciate it. Please subscribe. Please click the like button. And I'll be back tomorrow, probably with 2 flights. Probably one in the morning, and then definitely one in the evening. We'll be doing a special request. Shout out Delta 737 flight. I don't know where we're going to fly yet, but it'll definitely be over somewhere over Mother Earth. We'll figure it out. But until then, I will see y'all again, my friends, very soon. This is the All About Aviation channel, signing off till tomorrow.